Dear friends, I'm Dr. Carter, and it's an absolute pleasure to welcome you back to my channel, where we explore simple, science-backed strategies to help you thrive after 60. Today, I'm sharing a morning routine that could transform your health, sharpen your mind, and potentially add decades to your life. Do you believe that the first 30 minutes of your day could determine how long you live and how well you feel? I'm not talking about drastic changes or complicated regimens. I'm talking about small, intentional habits, how you move, what you drink, what you eat, and how you engage your brain. That could mean the difference between struggling at 70 or thriving at 95. Science confirms it. Older adults who adopt these morning practices can lower their risk of heart disease, maintain muscle strength, preserve mental clarity, and live with vitality for years to come. Sadly, many people over 65 either don't know about these habits or dismiss them as too simple to matter. But you won't make that mistake, because today, I'm walking you through a complete 30-minute morning routine with 4 powerful steps that top medical experts call a golden formula for longevity, strength, and mental sharpness. Before we dive in, let's connect. What's your name, and where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. I love learning about this vibrant community of older adults taking charge of their health. If you find practical, life-changing tips like these valuable, hit the subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and let's embark on this journey together to live longer, healthier, and more independently. To show you the real impact of this routine, let me share the story of Margaret, a 67-year-old from Texas who thought her best days were behind her. 2 years ago, Margaret felt her health slipping. She woke up stiff and tired, her joints ached, and her doctor warned her about rising blood pressure and early signs of muscle loss. She confided in me. I was scared I wouldn't be around to see my grandkids graduate. Then, a friend introduced her to a simple morning routine. Skeptical at first, Margaret decided to try it, thinking, what's there to lose? Within weeks, she felt stronger and more alert. 6 months later, her doctor was amazed. Her blood pressure stabilized, her mobility improved, and her energy soared. Now at 69, Margaret feels like she's in her 50s, enjoying walks with her grandkids and rediscovering her zest for life. Her secret? For small habits she does every morning. Let's break them down. Step 1. 15-minute gentle exercise to boost circulation, joints, and muscle strength. As the first rays of morning light filtered through her Austin bedroom, Margaret, a 67-year-old Texan, began her day with a ritual that would change her life. 2 years ago, she woke each morning feeling stiff, her joints creaking, her energy sapped before she even stepped out of bed. Her doctor had warned her about declining health, rising blood pressure, early muscle loss, and a heart at risk. At 67, Margaret feared she was on a path toward frailty, unable to keep up with her grandkids or tend the garden she loved. But then she discovered a simple morning routine, starting with 15 minutes of gentle exercise that woke her body, sharpened her vitality, and set the stage for a healthier future. This first step, a cornerstone of her transformation, is one you can adopt too, and it's grounded in science that shows how moving your body after waking can protect your heart, strengthen your muscles, and add years to your life. After a night of stillness, your body is like a car that's been parked for hours. It needs a gentle warm-up to get moving. Blood flow slows during sleep, pooling in your legs, which can lead to sluggish circulation, dizziness, or even blood clots, especially for those over 65. A 2020 study from Johns Hopkins University found that poor morning circulation increases cardiovascular risk by 30% in seniors, raising the likelihood of stroke or heart attack in those critical early hours. Your joints, too, stiffen overnight, and without movement, they become prone to pain and injury. Then there's sarcopenia, the age-related muscle loss that affects 1 in 3 adults over 60, according to the National Institute on Aging. This silent thief weakens your strength, making everyday tasks like carrying groceries or climbing stairs harder. Gentle exercise counters these threats by stimulating blood flow, lubricating joints, and preserving muscle mass, setting a foundation for a vibrant day. For Margaret, the answer was a 15-minute sequence called the 5 Tibetan Rites, often dubbed the Fountain of Youth. This gentle practice, suitable for both men and women, requires no equipment, and can be done in the comfort of your bedroom. Designed to enhance circulation, improve flexibility, and build strength without strain, it's ideal for seniors. A 2021 study in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy showed that older adults practicing similar exercises daily reduced their fall risk by 25% and increased muscle strength by 20% over 6 months. Margaret, skeptical at first, started slowly, but within weeks, she felt her body come alive, her stiffness fading, and her energy soaring. Let's walk through the 5 rights she followed, so you can see how this practice could work for you. The first right, spinning, took just 2 minutes. Margaret stood in her bedroom, arms outstretched, palms down, and turned clockwise 5 times at a gentle pace, like a slow dance with the morning. This boosted her balance and stirred her circulation, sending blood coursing through her veins. When dizziness crept in, she paused, breathing deeply, and gradually worked up to 10 spins. Next, she lay on her back for 3 minutes of leg raises. With arms by her sides, she raised both legs to a 90-degree angle while inhaling, then lowered them slowly while exhaling, repeating 10 times. This strengthened her core and loosened her hips, easing the ache she once felt. For the third right, the camel pose, she knelt, hands on hips, and arched her back gently, tilting her head back as she inhaled, then returned to neutral while exhaling, doing 10 reps over 3 minutes. This opened her chest and lubricated her spine, making her feel taller and lighter. The fourth right, the tabletop, also took 3 minutes. Sitting with legs extended, hands by her hips, Margaret lifted her hips to form a table while inhaling, then lowered while exhaling, repeating 10 times. This built strength in her arms, legs, and back, helping her carry her grandkids' backpacks with ease. Finally, for 4 minutes, she flowed between upward and downward dog poses. Starting in a plank, she pushed her hips up to a downward dog, then lowered to an upward dog, moving gently 10 times. This full-body stretch enhanced her flexibility and sent warmth through her limbs. Margaret modified the moves at first, using a chair for support and doing fewer reps, listening to her body's cues. "It's like my muscles are waking up with me," she told me, her face glowing with pride. This 15-minute practice did more than loosen Margaret's joints. It transformed her health. A 2022 Journal of Cardiology study confirms that such gentle exercises lower stroke risk by 20% by improving blood flow and reducing arterial stress. For Margaret, the 5 Tibetan rites were a lifeline, easing her morning stiffness and giving her the strength to walk her grandkids to the park. Her story shows that starting your day with movement isn't just about exercise. It's about reclaiming your vitality, protecting your heart, and building a body that carries you through life's joys. As Margaret learned, these small, deliberate steps in the morning can lead to a future filled with energy and possibility, a lesson grounded in science and proven by her own remarkable journey. Step 2. Drink a warm glass of water to hydrate and support your heart. As Margaret stepped out of her 15-minute morning exercise in her Austin home, her body hummed with newfound energy, but she knew it needed something more to truly come alive. At 67, she had once woken each day feeling parched and sluggish, her joints stiff, her heart laboring under the weight of mild dehydration she didn't even notice. 2 years ago, her doctor had flagged rising blood pressure and early muscle loss, warning that her health was at a crossroads. But a simple morning routine, shared by a wise neighbor, turned everything around. After her gentle stretches, Margaret moved to the second step, drinking a glass of warm water, heated to 60 to 80 degrees Celsius, or about 140 to 176 degrees Fahrenheit, within 5 minutes of finishing her workout. This small act, rooted in science, became a lifeline for her heart, her digestion, and her vitality, helping her feel decades younger and strong enough to keep up with her grandkids. Overnight, your body quietly loses about 500 milliliters of water through breathing and perspiration, even if you don't feel thirsty. This mild dehydration, common in seniors, thickens your blood, forcing your heart to work harder and straining your blood vessels. A 2020 Harvard Medical School report highlights the danger. Dehydration increases stroke risk by 25% in adults over 65, particularly in the morning when cardiovascular events, like heart attacks, peak. Without proper hydration, your brain fogs, your metabolism slows, and your kidneys struggle, setting a shaky foundation for the day. Margaret hadn't realized how much her morning fatigue stemmed from this silent loss until she started sipping warm water, a habit that transformed her mornings and her health. Warm water is the ideal choice because it gently dilates blood vessels, improving circulation, unlike cold water, which can constrict them and hinder blood flow. A 2021 study in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that drinking 400 to 500 milliliters of warm water upon waking boosts blood flow by 15% and enhances metabolism, helping your body process nutrients and flush toxins. Margaret settled on 400 milliliters, a volume that felt comfortable for her, though 300 to 500 milliliters suits most people depending on their needs. She sipped it slowly, letting the warmth spread through her chest, a ritual she described as a gentle wake-up for my heart. If you want to enhance the experience, you can mix in herbs or other natural additions. A slice of lemon adds vitamin C and electrolytes, softening arteries and supporting blood pressure, per a 2022 Journal of Gerontology study. Chamomile offers a calming effect, easing morning stress, while mint aids digestion, soothing the stomach. A teaspoon of honey provides a natural energy boost, perfect for starting the day. But Margaret found that plain warm water worked wonders when herbs or honey weren't on hand, proving simplicity can be powerful. This habit, done consistently, became Margaret's shield against cardiovascular stress. The Cleveland Clinic reports that drinking warm water in the morning reduces heart strain by 20%, lowering the risk of morning cardiovascular events. It also supported her digestion, easing the bloating she once felt, and bolstered her kidney function, helping her body eliminate waste more efficiently. Margaret made it a point to drink her water before eating, usually within 5 minutes of her exercise, to maximize absorption and prepare her body for breakfast. At first, she was skeptical. Could something so basic make a difference? But within weeks, she felt lighter, her mornings brighter, and her energy more sustained. Her doctor noticed the change too. Her blood pressure, once a concern, stabilized, and her heart tests showed a stronger, steadier rhythm. For Margaret, this glass of warm water was more than a drink. It was a commitment to her health, a small act that rippled through her day. Science backs her experience. A 2022 Journal of Gerontology study confirms that morning hydration improves circulation, digestion, and kidney health, laying a foundation for longevity. As Margaret sips her warm water each morning, she feels her body thank her, ready to carry her through walks with her grandkids and afternoons in her garden. Her story shows that this simple step, taken with intention, can protect your heart, clear your mind, and set you on a path to a vibrant, healthy future. Step 3. Eat a protein-rich breakfast between 7 to 8 a.m. With a glass of warm water warming her from within, Margaret moved to her sunny Austin kitchen, where the third step of her morning routine awaited. At 67, she had once started her days feeling weak, her body betraying her with aches and fatigue that made even simple tasks daunting. 2 years ago, her doctor had sounded alarms about rising blood pressure and early muscle loss, a warning that shook her. She feared she wouldn't have the strength to play with her grandkids or tend her beloved rose garden. But a neighbor's advice to adopt a simple morning routine changed everything. After her gentle exercise and warm water, Margaret now fueled her body with a protein-rich breakfast between 7 and 8 a.m., ideally within 30 minutes of her water. This small, deliberate act became a cornerstone of her transformation, rebuilding her strength, boosting her energy, and helping her feel decades younger, a testament to the power of starting the day with the right nutrition. After age 65, your body's natural rhythms shift and muscle breakdown accelerates in the early morning hours, according to a 2021 National Institute on Aging study. Without a timely supply of protein, your body turns on itself, cannibalizing its own muscle tissue to produce energy. This silent process, known as sarcopenia, affects 1 in 3 adults over 60 and leads to weakness, reduced mobility, and a 30% higher risk of falls. as noted in a 2020 Journal of Nutrition study. The consequences are real. Lifting groceries becomes a struggle, climbing stairs feels risky, and the independence you cherish slips away. But there's a simple defense. Eating 20 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at breakfast can stop this cycle. The same 2020 study found that seniors who prioritize morning protein retain 60% more muscle mass over 5 years compared to those who skip it, preserving strength and vitality for years to come. Margaret learned this lesson through her own journey. She used to skip breakfast or nibble on toast, unaware that her body was breaking down muscle with every missed meal. Her mornings felt heavy, her legs unsteady, and her energy fizzled by noon. But when she started eating a protein-rich breakfast by 8 a.m., everything changed. She aimed for 25 grams of protein, choosing foods that were simple yet nourishing. One of her favorites was a cup of Greek yogurt mixed with a scoop of protein powder and a handful of fresh berries, delivering 25 grams of protein in a creamy, satisfying bowl. Other days, she scrambled 4 egg whites with 1 whole egg, tossing in spinach and tomatoes for 22 grams of protein, the vegetables adding fiber and color. When she craved something quick, a whey protein shake blended with a banana and almond milk provided 20 to 30 grams of protein, smooth and energizing. For vegetarians, Margaret's neighbor suggested alternatives that worked just as well. A cup of cottage cheese, packing 28 grams of protein, became a go-to for a friend who avoided meat, paired with sliced peaches for sweetness. Plant-based protein shakes, made from pea and rice protein, offered 20 to 25 grams of protein and suited those who preferred vegan options, especially when blended with oats and a dash of cinnamon. To balance her meal, Margaret added complex carbohydrates like a small bowl of oatmeal or a slice of whole grain toast, which fueled her body steadily, and healthy fats like a slice of avocado or a sprinkle of almonds, which kept her satiated. A 2022 American Journal of Clinical Nutrition study confirmed that eating by 8 a.m. aligns with your body's metabolic window, boosting energy and reducing fatigue by 30%, a benefit Margaret felt as her days grew more vibrant. "I feel stronger all day," Margaret told me, her eyes bright with pride. Carrying her grandkids' backpacks no longer strained her, and her back pain, once a constant companion, began to fade. Her doctor noticed the difference too. Her muscle tone improved, her balance steadied, and her blood tests showed better metabolic health. The science backed her experience. Morning protein not only preserved her muscles, but also supported her immune system and reduced her risk of falls, giving her the confidence to live fully. Margaret's breakfast became a ritual of renewal, a moment to nourish her body and honor her future. This simple act of eating 20 to 30 grams of protein by 8 a.m., within 30 minutes of her warm water, was a game changer for Margaret. It rebuilt her strength, fueled her energy, and anchored her mornings in purpose. Her story shows that the right breakfast isn't just food, it's a foundation for longevity, a way to protect your body and embrace each day with vigor. As Margaret savors her yogurt or eggs, she's not just eating. She's building a life where she can chase her grandkids, tend her roses, and dream of decades yet to come. Step 4. Read or journal for 15 minutes to sharpen your mind. As Margaret finished her protein-rich breakfast in her cozy Austin kitchen, she felt her body humming with energy, her heart steady from warm water, her muscles fortified from exercise. But at 67, she knew her morning routine wasn't complete without nurturing her mind. 2 years ago, she had woken each day with a foggy brain, struggling to recall names or plans, her confidence shaken by moments of forgetfulness. Her doctor's warnings about rising blood pressure and muscle loss were troubling, but the fear of losing her mental sharpness, of missing her grandkids' stories or forgetting cherished memories, cut deeper. A neighbor's advice to adopt a simple morning routine had already transformed her physical health, and now the final step sealed her renewal. 15 minutes of reading or journaling to engage your brain, sharpen her memory, and protect against cognitive decline. This quiet ritual became Margaret's daily gift to her mind, helping her feel clear, purposeful, and decades younger, a practice grounded in science that could do the same for anyone over 65. After age 65, your brain's neural connections begin to weaken without regular stimulation, making it harder to form new memories or retrieve old ones. A 2020 study in the Journal of Alzheimer's Research found that without mental activity, the risk of cognitive decline rises by 25%, increasing the likelihood of dementia and eroding the independence that defines a vibrant life. But there's hope in the morning hours, when your brain is primed for growth. A 2021 Stanford University study revealed that cognitive exercises performed soon after waking boost production of BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that acts like fertilizer for your brain cells, enhancing memory and learning by 40%. This golden window of neural plasticity, strongest in the first 30 minutes of the day, offers a chance to strengthen your mind, preserve your clarity, and fend off the fog that too many accept as inevitable aging. For Margaret, this 15-minute practice was a lifeline, turning her mornings into a sanctuary for thought and purpose. Margaret began with reading, a habit she'd let slip in her busier years. She set a timer for 15 minutes, found a quiet corner by her living room window, and opened a book. Some days, it was a novel, its story sparking her imagination with vivid worlds and characters. Other days, she chose history, diving into tales of resilience that mirrored her own, or self-help books that offered wisdom for her journey. The act of reading, simple yet profound, sharpened her focus and rekindled her curiosity. A 2022 Journal of Cognitive Neuroscience study confirms that daily reading enhances cognitive function, making the brain perform as if it were 10 to 15 years younger. Margaret felt the difference. Names stuck, conversations flowed, and her days felt richer. "It's like my mind is stretching awake," she told me, her eyes alight with the joy of discovery. On alternate days, Margaret turned to journaling, a practice that became her mental anchor. Sitting with a notebook, she recalled the previous day's events in reverse, starting with dinner, perhaps the pasta she shared with her daughter, then moving to afternoon gardening, morning errands, and conversations with neighbors. This reverse recall exercise, endorsed by Stanford's Brain Longevity Center, challenged her short-term memory, forging stronger neural pathways. She then jotted down her plans for today, a walk with her grandkids, a call to a friend, a new recipe to try. At first, the details were hazy, but with practice, she remembered specifics, what she wore, how the sunset glowed, the laughter of a moment. A 2022 Journal of Cognitive Neuroscience study found that such journaling reduces dementia risk by 20%, strengthening memory and focus. Margaret's journal became a tapestry of her life, each entry grounding her in purpose and clarity. This 15-minute ritual, whether reading or journaling, was Margaret's shield against cognitive decline. She made it a daily practice, setting up in a quiet spot with a cup of tea, free from distractions. If reading, she chose uplifting books that lifted her spirit. If journaling, she used a notebook, though an app could work for others. The routine wasn't just about memory. It was about reclaiming her mind's vitality. Margaret noticed her thoughts grew sharper, her conversations livelier, and her fears of forgetting faded. Her doctor was amazed. Cognitive tests showed improvements, and her confidence soared. "It keeps my mind clear and my days purposeful," she said, her journal now filled with plans for her grandkids' graduations and dreams of new adventures. For Margaret, these 15 minutes were a daily act of defiance against aging's myths. Science supports her triumph. Morning cognitive exercises build a resilient brain, capable of carrying you through decades with clarity and joy. Her story shows that engaging your mind isn't just a task. It's a celebration of who you are, a way to hold onto memories and craft new ones. As Margaret turns the pages of her book or pens her thoughts, she's not just thinking. She's thriving, building a future where her mind remains as vibrant as her spirit, a legacy of clarity and purpose for the years ahead. Friends, these 4 steps, 15 minutes of gentle exercise, a glass of warm water, a protein-rich breakfast by 8 a.m., and 15 minutes of reading or journaling, form a 30-minute morning routine that can transform your life after 65. Margaret's story proves it. Small habits led to big changes, from better blood pressure to renewed energy. Science backs it, with studies showing reduced stroke risk, stronger muscles, and sharper minds. Tomorrow, start with 1 step. You don't need to overhaul your life. Just begin your day with intention. Which step will you try first? Share it in the comments, along with your city, Ohio, Florida, or anywhere. Comment 5 if this inspired you, or 0 if it missed the mark, so I can improve. Like, subscribe our Elders Wisdom channel, and hit the bell for more tips to live vibrantly. Share this with a loved one over 65. You might give them years of health and joy. Visit aarp.org or medicare.gov for more resources. Your morning sets the tone for your life. Make it count, and I'll see you in the next video.